When I was about 30 years old, there was a time when I was going through separation, and I had in general a difficult period of time. I was depressed. The doctor put me on antidepressants, and yeah, it wasn't a happy time at all. I wanted to overcome depression, obviously, and I didn't believe that the medication that I had been prescribed worked at all. Rather than making a difference, it would just put me in a state of mind where I didn't care about anything. And I wasn't happy with that, so eventually I decided to go off the course of antidepressants, and I picked up painting just for something to do. Painting is great because it's another one of those things where you can just be in the moment, sort of very zen. There's just me and the paint, me and the brush, me and the airbrush, and at that moment there is no bad thoughts, there's no depression, so yeah, that's great. It can be a pretty expensive hobby. So, and I know this thing about myself, that I like lots and lots of different things, right? So I have other hobbies as well. So before committing, I thought I would pick up some paper, and I thought for a week, every day I would sketch a little bit. And if after a week, after 7 days, I was still happy to carry on painting, then I would commit and I would spend money on art supplies, which really did happen. And yeah, that was great. Eventually I left the job that I hated, and I ended up being a self-employed artist in the end. It's a great thing to do, but it's not for everyone to be self-employed and do your art self-employed. You have to work, you have to do your commissions, you have to deal with galleries, you have to deal with a bunch of people that you do not necessarily want to deal with. For some reason everybody thinks that art is something that an artist should do for free. Everyone wants you to work for free, or they promise you fame and publicity. Yeah, I can think of plenty of very sour jokes about publicity and what they can do with it. Yet, imagine you have to put your heart and soul into a painting. Somebody loves it, it gets sold, and all the money that you've just been paid, you give away for rent. This is not for everyone. So after a few years of that kind of life, I started thinking about sort of getting a regular job and just keeping the painting to myself. Because doing commissions and painting for other people, mostly, it changes you. Whatever you paint, whatever you create, you kind of become that thing. And I wasn't very happy. I wasn't very happy there. But yeah, I started thinking about just painting for myself. And I think the deciding moment for me was my last London exhibition, when I shared these thoughts with someone. And that person said, Taz, you cannot do that. You have no right to refuse to offer your talent to the public, because according to that person, every artist has an obligation to showcase their talent. And to me that sounded like you don't own yourself, we own you. Yeah, that was a bit weird, but that was the deciding time when I decided to pack up the business and just get a regular job and enjoy art as it's meant to be enjoyed by myself. So now I just paint for my own pleasure, and I don't take any commissions. Couldn't be happier. For me, art is something that must produce an emotional response. Whatever it is, whatever art form it is, if there is that in the viewer's eyes when they see it, then that's art. If a piece requires an explanation, then I'm sorry, that's not my thing at all. Art critics would probably argue with my last statement, and if they didn't, it would probably put them out of a job. But for me, art is very, very simple. It is meant to be enjoyed, and it is meant to make me happy.